Hello there, welcome back to the Forever Project, and if you're new, welcome to the Forever Project. My name is Siniswa Ndlovu, and on today's video, I just want to share a book that has really impacted me and impacted my life in a good way, and I'd really like to share the book with you, and hopefully you get into it as well. I've made some notes on here so that I know what exactly I want to say and why you should get the book. The book we're going to talk about today is called The Mountain Is You by Brianna Wiest. I think it's Wiest or West. And the book is basically about self-sabotage, figuring out why you're sabotaging yourself and how to actually overcome that. It's a good book for anyone who really is just trying to figure themselves out. Like, you can't pinpoint what exactly is wrong, so the book really helps you dig deep and find out. I highly recommend the book for people who feel like they keep getting in on their own way, where you start things but you don't finish them, and then you live with the guilt of not actually finishing anything. So if you're that kind of person, I think this book is definitely for you. Yeah, it's a good book to start, because there are other books where, like the 5 a.m. Club, but those books I believe are for people who've kind of figured themselves out and actually just need a routine. Because this book really helps you find out what the problem is, or the start of your journey to figuring things out. How did I feel about this book? Personally, this book tore me apart. I didn't expect it to. I approached it with that mindset of, oh, okay, this is going to be a book that's going to help me set my goals and, improve my life. But in essence, this book really, it's not a deeply written book. I don't know if that would make sense. It's not a book that has you like, I don't want to say it is profound, but it's not, there's no oh okay moments. It's more like it asks so many questions that you actually have to put the book down and answer those questions. And when you answer those questions, you realize that you actually have so much so much trauma that is deeply rooted within you, that has contributed to you not getting to the life that you want. This book came into my life at a point. Firstly, I saw the book on Pinterest. I was just looking for interesting psychological books, and it was one of the pictures that popped up, and I searched it, found it, and when I read it, I read it at a point in my life where already I felt like I'm going through a lot. So it came at the right time, and it tore me apart even further. But I've cried a lot, like, reading this book, and I know this is a book that I would need to constantly read at least once a year, because sometimes you find yourself slacking. You just need a reminder of the things that are holding you back so that you can let go of those things. The only other thing that I really found amusing about the book is that there are certain points where, yes, it pinpoints where things are going wrong for you. Not pinpoints, but you figure it out. But then it also calls you out on the things that you are doing. Like, okay, you are actually BSing your way through life right now. So for those moments where I felt called out, and I found it amusing that, shucks, like, you think this book is, when you're reading it, you think it gives you a sense of feeling sorry for yourself, but actually it gives you a responsibility over your life. Did I love or hate the book? I absolutely love this book, and like I said, I'm definitely going to be reading this book at least once a year, just to keep, because you never know, you could trigger one part of yourself or find out one part of yourself, and then there are other things that come later. So it's one of those books that I think it's good for you to read often. So I definitely love the book. The only thing I didn't like about it was the certain parts of it that were very repetitive. Like you feel like I've read this already. But I think it's just its way of like drilling certain things or certain ideas into your brain. But for me, the repetitiveness was, I felt, unnecessary. But overall, I would recommend the book to anyone who feels they need like a heart-to-heart by themselves. I just want to share 3 snippets from the book that not necessarily stood out for me, but I think could leave you questioning yourself as well, or sitting down with yourself and just having a heart-to-heart with you. So on page 20 of the book, it says, you're going to have to stop being in denial about your personal state of affairs. You're going to have to get real with yourself. You're going to have to decide that you love yourself too much to stop settling for less than you really deserve. And more than anything, I picked up that you are responsible for the quality of life that you live, especially when you are conscious of it, especially when you basically have your life in your hands and you are aware of that. There comes a point where you just know that this is for me. So your future self, you know that you owe your future self a certain life. So you know you've got to start today trying to live step by step towards that life. So yeah, on page 49, it speaks of the fear of failing, and it says, there's a difference between failing because you're trying something new and daring, and failing because you're not showing up, doing the work, or being responsible for your actions. This exposed me. Like, I just felt naked. I just felt like, God, isn't this book meant to make me feel sorry for myself? And a prime example of the fear of failure, I've been wanting to start a YouTube channel since about 2019. So I thought I'd start it off when I was pregnant. I'll document that, but it just kept being an idea in my head, and I never actually executed it because I just thought, oh, what if the channel doesn't do well? What if I don't get the subscribers? And because of those fears that I was manifesting in my mind, or you know, just the fears of my channel not doing well, or expecting my channel to like do well immediately, I didn't even start the channel. And it took me 3 years to actually start this channel. And it has put me out of my comfort zone, but you know, in the 3 years that I kept saying I want to start this channel, I have felt like a failure. But more than anything now, I'm very proud of myself for getting up and actually doing what I have been passionate for a couple of years. And yeah, that part of the book really exposed me and made me feel like you did the right thing starting the channel. Whether it works out, it doesn't work out, you're doing it for you. This is something that you're going to enjoy. And I'm a big believer that sometimes you start one thing, it doesn't work out, and you move on to the next thing, and then that's just a trigger of actually getting other things done, or other parts of your life that are meant to be in you, or meant to happen in your life. But it just needs that first step with to create that cycle of actually getting things done and achieving certain things. Page 91, it says, so it basically talks about how to follow your gut without getting scared of the future. Page 91 says, your gut, though intelligent, isn't psychic. Your gut instinct functions to make things better, whereas your imagination can often make things worse. Now, how many of us have actually said, oof, I can feel it in my gut? Why do we associate gut feelings with, or let me put it this way, whenever you do something or have a brilliant idea or do something that seems magnificent, right? And you know that thing that says, do it, it's going to succeed, it's going to go well. Why don't we believe that gut feeling? But the gut feeling that tells us the negative, that gives us a negative answer, why do we believe that one more over the one that is meant to give us a good feeling? Which then goes to show that your gut is not like psychic at all. Your gut is just it's meant to make you trust yourself. And sometimes we really just confuse our gut feelings with our imagination. Sometimes we're imagining something not succeeding, or it's the fear of something not succeeding, and then it's like, no, my gut feeling is telling me. No, it's not your gut feeling, it's your wild imagination trying to discourage you from going for what you really want to go for. So don't listen to the negative gut feelings. Don't do it. I'm learning bit by bit not to do it as well. But yeah, the book is very difficult to get in South Africa, but if you need me to help you out get the book, please let me know. Just DM me on Instagram. My handle is @CindySwandlovu_. They do have it on loot.co.za for about 584. It's just not wildly whatever available in SA, but I'm still planning to get my own copy. I've got it on an ebook version, but I really need a hard copy because it's one of those books that I'm going to pass down to my children. And yeah, it's well worth your time, well worth your efforts. So yeah, if you need the book, hit me up on Instagram. It's @CindySwandlovu_. And thank you for joining me. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and tell your friends to tell their friends to come onto this channel. We are going to be working on our habits, one habit at a time. So yeah, thank you guys.